I'm Paul Hungerford.
And I'm Josh Dean. Welcome to this edition of Drone Center presented by Mountain Dew.
On this edition, we'll be bringing you the results from the weekend's prestigious Georgia State Drone Racing Championship qualifier, as well as reporting on the possible, even more prestigious Slap Yo Mama Invitational in Milford, Ohio.
We'll also be announcing the 11th pilot in the DR1 Invitational.
And we will finally answer the question you've all been asking. Who is the better drone pilot, Independence Day's resurgence, Liam Hemsworth or Jeff Goldblum? But first, let's get airborne, shall we?
We shall. This year's 6th annual Southeastern FPV Meet 2016 at the Pecan Patch Airstrip in Griffin, Georgia, was the location for the first multi-GP Georgia State Drone Racing Championship and Region 2A Championship qualifier. Of 20 pilots, Willard 37 took the top position with 30 points. Cyclone End and Robbie Van Ziel finished in second and third with 27 and 24 points respectively.
Huntsville, Texas was the location of the Escape from Shawshank event put on by the South Houston Motor Rotors, an event that took place within a fairly technical course created on an old tree farm. MN Grower took third place with 9 points, Cuts grabbed the second position with 17 points, and Lawless stayed a nose ahead with 18 points to bring home the top prize.
The Slap Yo Mama Invitational and Fun Fly was held in Milford, Ohio. While we've not been able to get our hands on the final race results in the Slap Yo Mama Invitational and Fun Fly, it is important to note that the event was utilizing the iLap timing system. Pilots with iLap transponders were asked to have them mounted to the right side of their quads to help with testing. Now, we here at Drone Center, we just continue to be impressed by the drone racing community's efforts to push the sport ahead through testing of new and emerging technologies in the field.
Indeed, Josh, well said. The race with the River City Racers event was put on by the Richmond, Virginia Multi-GP chapter held at the Patapsco Middle School in Ellicott City, Maryland. Of the 19 racers, it was Kellewan B with 18 points, while Rad Daddy took second and 20 points, and Turtle Brown took first with 25 points. And over in Belgium, the -2 drone race qualified 3 pilots for the ERSA European Championship in Ibiza and 2 pilots for Drone Worlds in Hawaii. The top 3 results for the round robin were Metal Danny in first, followed by Vinci B and Seaforce.
So who is the better drone pilot? Independence Day Resurgence's Liam Hemsworth or Jeff Goldblum?
I'm Liam Hemsworth. I'm Jeff Goldblum.
The answer was provided when the actors joined the crew at Dude Perfect for a little drone racing. In the department of trash talk, it was clearly a tie. But when it comes to hand-eye, finger-thumb coordination, Hemsworth took both races.
At Drone Center, we report on drone racing, drone tech. But many pilots get their start in aerial photography, which is the reason this story caught our attention. Air Canada, the Canadian Armed Forces, Sierra Hotel Aeronautics, and Bell Helicopter recently joined forces to build a customized wheelchair for a teenage drone enthusiast. 15-year-old Antoine Dupon, who has muscular dystrophy, has spent the past few years in a wheelchair. That said, the wheelchair hasn't stopped him from becoming an avid drone pilot, flying small crafts and shooting videos with his father, Stefan. Airbase Services and Zenmaton Technologies designed the custom prototype, which features a real pilot seat. They called the project a cockpit for Antoine. That is a remarkable story, and we here at Drone Center will be rooting for Antoine and his bright future in drone racing.
Now, as more and more professional and amateurs take to the air, the demand for regulation has certainly increased, and in some cases is simply just trying to keep up with the drone explosion. Now, we are happy to report that the FAI, the Fédération Aéronautique Internationale, and ERSA, European Rotor Sports Association, have signed a memorandum of agreement to work closely on the promotion of FPV racing. This in a statement from the FAI. The FAI recognizes that the sport of FPV racing and associated activities are growing fast, and clear governance is needed to ensure the sport's future. The FAI consulted with the drone sport community and also with the ERSA. After meetings with the founders of ERSA, the FAI has acknowledged that the ERSA has the best interests of the sport at their heart. With this in mind, it is the decision of the FAI to give recognition as FAI Associated Event Organizer to ERSA for open international or World Cup events in Europe. Now, ERSA will work with the FAI and its national members and receive support and guidance from us. We believe this will empower the drone sport community and, with the support of the FAI, ensure the sport grows in a way that it remains fair, inclusive, and safe.
Well, let's hear from our correspondent Cornell Herg from droneflux.com to tell us about the work Tesla is doing with the FAA on behalf of the drone racing world.
Hey guys, Cornell Herg here from droneflux.com, here to bring you some exciting drone news in the world of drones. So first up, we have a mini drone racing league forming it here in Southern California by top pilots such as Francis, Bapu, and Tommy. Their whole goal is to bring the professional community together and help push everyone to become better pilots. So the idea is that every county here, whether it's Riverside or Orange County, will have the top 6 pilots in the area get together and form a team, and they will be racing points, and at the end of their league, they'll be counting points and seeing who gets the most amount. And that way, they all get bragging rights. In other news, we also have Tesla Foundation getting involved in drones. Yes, it's a little random, but they're doing big things. So their entire goal is they've been working with organizations such as the FAA and UAVSA and many more in finalizing the drone problem that a lot of people have been bringing up. So their idea is to fix the drone regulations and registrations and bring together a new program that will help fix everything and have a program for racers as well. So with that, they've been working with UAVSA, which has been on the education front with drone workshops. So they are bringing some drone workshops to colleges all across the US, starting here in Southern California, and helping and training pilots on how to get the registrations for 333 exemptions and many more. So Tesla Foundation is definitely the company to keep an eye out on in the next few weeks and months, as they are going to be really helping glue this community together because they really see what we got going around here. So to have a big company like Tesla Foundation help us out and get involved and be our voice is going to be great. So with that, guys, go ahead and check out droneflux.com, the world's first multi-vendor marketplace for your drone building needs. And with that, I'm going to sign off. To you guys, Josh and Paul.
Now it's time to talk about the 11th pilot in the DR1 Invitational presented by Mountain Dew, who will join pilots such as God, Final Glide, Banny UK, Justice FPV, and Stinger Swarm in a race for the $30,000 first place prize? Well, I'm about to tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, and drones, please welcome pilot Shaun NYTFury Taylor. Shaun, are you there?
Hello, Shaun.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
How you doing?
Really well.
Oh, doing great, doing great.
How's the weather down in New Mexico? Good flying these days?
Yeah, it's windy as usual, which is kind of typical. After we're all done, I'm going to go out and meet some of the guys and go do some more crashing probably.
Awesome.
Hey, Shaun, let me ask you, how did you come to fly drones competitively?
It's actually, it's kind of a funny story. My buddy Shaun Stanford, he was kind of always into the RC cars and the planes, helicopters and stuff. And I kind of never really was. I would always just kind of follow him around and, be like, oh, that's cool. And I had this little truggy that I'd take up to the fire station and just kind of blast around with the guys, nothing competitive. And it's funny, he sent me the video of the French guys tearing it up overseas in the forest. And he's like, dude, we should do this. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really like it. I'm not really crazy about it. And, he was persistent and he bought a blackout. So me being my cheap self, I got on RC groups and I got a ZMR and I was terrible, like terrible in is kind of not really the best word to describe it because I was the worst that I'd ever seen. It literally after a couple of months, I was still flying in a stabilization mode, still couldn't fly through anything, and literally was just getting my butt handed to me over and over and over. And I think it was the persistence of my buddy telling me how terrible I was and how I'd never beat him, which kind of brought out my obsessive compulsive side. And I literally just had to beat him. So I guess that's where the competitive flying came from.
Oh, that's all, and you have been doing pretty amazingly in that. I mean, have you ever not finished in the top 3?
Oh, plenty of times. I get my butt whooped all the time. No, it's there's plenty of races local. I've been to. It's funny. All the races last year, I would always miss the podium, and it's just it's part of racing. You can't win them all. Nobody wins everything, and thankfully for me, nobody loses everything.
So what is your typical racing build? You don't, if it's proprietary, you don't have to tell us.
No, it's no problem. It's the guys that know me, they know that I kind of like to fly the different stuff. So at the big races recently, I'll fly things that people kind of look at and they're like, well, that's cool, but what are you racing? And I'm like, I'm racing this, like for example, XDC2, I flew something called the Freighter, which resembles something out of Star Wars, looking like the Millennium Falcon.
Cool.
The last couple of races, I flew something that we call a Slaver 1, which resembles something out of Star Wars, being the Boba Fett ship.
Right, absolutely.
It is absolutely not an advantage in any way. It's they're just different looking is all.
Yeah.
Most of my builds, consist of basically the same thing. My ESCs are either going to be the UBAD 30 amp, the Angry Beasts, or the Raptor 30 amp. I've been running the VSpec 2205, 2350 motors.
Yep.
Nays 32. I'm old school, man. I'm not the sharpest guy when it comes to all of the this new age tuning and using all this brand new equipment. It's cool, I really like it, but personally, it's not really for me yet. I feel that it's just not quite reliable enough for my purpose just yet.
You need a friend to start saying that you can't handle it. You're not good enough to do all that tuning. Then you'll get good at it.
We live in a world where pilots are constantly being ranked. How do you feel about your own ranking, and do you find it accurate?
I don't even know where I'm ranked. Honestly, I really don't care.
I like it.
Honestly, I really don't care. There's a new race every weekend, and I've seen personally, people you've never even heard of who are blindingly fast, unbelievably fast as the fastest that I've seen out there. So, yeah, ranking system, it's cool. It's exciting. The more that we have these really big races, they're going to start making more sense. But as of right now, where everybody's ranked, that's cool. I just personally don't really care so much.
Great. And well, speaking of big races, what are you looking forward to the most at the DR1 Invitational?
Oh man, well, I've raced a lot of these cats, and they're unbelievable. I've never got to race Luke. I know he's going to smash me, but I'm going to bring everything I've got. Gary he freaked me out at his incredible flying over at the French Drone Nationals, and I swear it was like I was racing myself, except better, faster, lower, the whole deal. It was just I look up to so many of these guys that are there. Obviously Zach and Jordan, they're good buddies of mine, and absolute monsters on the race course. Last time I got to see Chad, he just destroyed us all at Drone Nationals. Right. And he was just head and shoulders above everybody else at that point. And no matter what, you got to give him respect. Even if he hasn't had time to race now, or if he has, he's just an amazing pilot. I got to fly with Tommy at this last race in Tempe, and I couldn't believe his first pack out. He was TQ, like first pack, first race. Nothing but respect, man. And there's other pilots there at DR1 that are just, they deserve to be there. They are absolute. They're beasts, and I look forward to clashing with them.
And perhaps which race has been the most challenging for you?
Honestly, for me personally, it was this last race in Tempe. I have kind of a crappy stigmatism. It's called high level aberration. Basically, I see ghost images of reflections of light. My cornea isn't smooth the way that it should be. It has these little ridges. So for example, if I look at a street light, I could see these ghost images that go all the way down to the street, which is fine, for regular. I'm already used to it. But when you have these really long horizontal gates and you have them after gate after gate, I can't distinguish which one's next.
Wow.
So I literally had to memorize this last course, and it's funny, going into the finals, I was pushing so hard to get the finals done during the day, because what happens is, the darker it is, your pupils will dilate, let more light in, and that causes it to just get much, much worse. So it's funny, the darker it got, the slower my lap times were getting. It was so funny. Jordan was all upset with me after the final. He's like, dude, why are you flying so slow? And I'm like, dude, that's as fast as I could go. Like that's everything I had, man. It's not that I was doing anything on purpose. It's just, I think my lap times were almost 30 seconds different between the night and the daytime.
It's absolutely incredible that you're able to race at such a high level, considering that challenge. That's amazing.
No, it's all good. It's how we practice here local, man. We put ourselves in the worst case scenario. I'm going to have to start building some LED gates because the light tracks is here to stay, and it's something that I'm going to have to adapt to and figure out.
Wow. What is the most exotic place you've flown?
Exotic? Oh, man. I've been to both to France and to Australia, and I really, really liked Australia. Although I was terrified the whole time I was there because I don't like spiders and all of this. And yeah, I'm a firefighter or whatever. I'm terrified of spiders, and they have the worst in the world.
And how do you compare the drone racing community to other sport communities?
The thing that stands out with the drone racing community is, you guys are rivals and you want to beat each other and you'll talk trash and this and that. But if you have somebody, say you get on the line and someone has a power lead pop off, you'll have 20 of your rivals racing to the line to grab your quad and help each other out. At the end of the day, everybody wants to, they want to bang with each other, but everybody's buddies after the race. Before and after, we're all good buddies. We love talking trash to each other, and it's a really tight knit community. Everybody kind of they know each other. It's still it's growing. It's getting a lot larger, but it's still on the competitive circuit. It's really kind of tight niche. So that's the biggest difference. You have the guys who want to help, and they want to have a good time. They want to race, and there's not really any bad blood.
That's so fantastic, and it's a sentiment we've heard echoed from all the other 11 pilots that are coming to the DR1 Invitational. So where can fans find you? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, what are your handles?
I think we changed it recently. I'm kind of like hard to find. So I believe we changed the Instagram to NYTFury FPV.
And that's spelled?
NYTFury FPV.
Okay.
On YouTube, it's Dark Side Quads. We have a Facebook page, Dark Side Quads, which is the buddy Shaun Stanford and I that started together, kind of back towards the beginning, making our own little fun frames. But yeah, Dark Side Quads is probably going to be the easiest way. We have a website, and you can kind of go to the Instagram, the YouTube, and our Facebook page from there.
Excellent. And Dark Side Quad explains why you're using Slave One as one of your. Awesome.
Actually, I think it's our first actual Dark Side Quad.
Oh, well, maybe that's something you should pursue.
They're all rebel ships.
Just a drone racer trying to make his way in the world.
That's
folks.
all it is. Thank you so much, Shaun. NYTFury, thank you for coming on the show. We look forward to seeing you at the DR1 Invitational presented by Mountain Dew.
Appreciate it, Shaun.
Thank you.
That's 11 pilots. Wow, that only leaves one, and you, Josh. You have something to do with the last choice, is that right?
That is right, Paul. 11 pilots have been announced, and you can join me on Wednesday night at 6 p.m. for Twitch Picks, The Last Pilot, where you, the viewer, will vote on the last pilot to join the race. Join us, and you too can be a part of the selection process to choose the 12th and last pilot for the upcoming race and see who can get beaten by NYTFury.
So that's it for this week's Drone Center. I'm Paul Hungerford.
And I'm Josh Dean. Thanks for watching, and thanks for flying.